Okay, now I want to talk more about defense with your small knives. And some of you may say, well, then when are you going to get to offense? Well, offense is pretty darn hard when I have a 3-inch blade and he has a 7-inch blade. We'll get to that, but it's a lot more problematic. You're going to be defending yourself, hopefully, so that you can get away, because very difficult to overcome someone with a 7-inch blade with a 3-inch blade. But you may be able to escape with your life. So let's get into more of the defense. When he stabs, I don't have much reach to countercut him with. So I have to get really good at parrying or blocking his blade. And again, I'll say this again and again till you have it driven into your system that just because I parry doesn't mean I've accomplished anything except in a very brief moment of time save myself from being stabbed. This parry doesn't do anything. I haven't countercut him. He's going to immediately come back if I don't change my position or I don't get ready to parry again. So it doesn't stop the onslaught. It just momentarily saves me, which you better get good at. Especially for those that have studied the Filipino martial arts all their lives. I started in 1978, and that's a long time ago. And we were taught to defang the snake, so I have a lot of reflex trying to reach in here. When he stabs, I try to countercut him. When he stabs, I try to counter stab him. And we're going to get to the counter stabbing next, okay? Because that's going to be your friend. But this, quite often, especially when he is stabbing you at close range, when I countercut him, oh yeah, shit, oh great, I cut Luke's thumb off. He just buried 7 inches of steel, now his thumb's hanging, but he held on to it long enough to stick that 7 inches just below my breastbone, may have hit my aorta, certainly did me a great deal of damage with a 3/16 over 1 inch wide blade with a tanto point on it that's got that sharp chisel in like that. It's severing everything in its path. He may drag it out when he comes out, widening the wound substantially. So I don't want that. You better get used to picking that steel up close. If I countercut this here, and I do this sometimes wrong again and again because of my training and I'm used to having a longer knife. If I have even a 5.5-inch 4-incher, I can quite often reach the hand and plenty of time. But the shorter the blade, the less time you're going to have to countercut his incoming limb. And you're going to have to get used to going on that longer blade. And getting used to the fact that your reach is not his reach. I've got 3 inches, he's got 7 inches. That's a huge difference. And a good knife fighter will exploit that a lot. He'll keep you from leading and you'll be on the defensive because it's a long ways in to get past that 7-inch blade to any of the good stuff. So hard to do. Get used to have him give you different angles and pick it up. Again, sometimes I'll end up blocking with my hand and I already cut me good. Because for whatever reason I didn't countercut him, I just took my arm up and I took that. Now, if I don't put it here, he descends and hits me in the collarbone, cuts the side of my neck, whatever. I don't know what's exactly going to happen. I should have done that, but I did this instead. Stupid. I could have done that maybe. I could have passed it maybe. But I'm talking and I'm not perfect. So you have to be perfect with a knife. There, I passed it. Cut him. Cut him. So you will sometimes find opportunities to countercut him, but the point of this drill is to get used to using your knife constantly on this knife and trying now, the next part is trying to get something back. If I don't countercut him, when I pick him up, he's going to continue. Miss, see? I have a hard time, even when I get here, to reach him with my short ass blade. A Bowie knife, no problem, he could not get away. A 7-inch recon, I would have had it. But that -4 inches does it. Now double-edged blades are even harder for you Because when he has a single edge blade, I can come from the side and the top. But when he has a double edge blade, he just has to lift. Let's say this is double edge. I'll get a tight pan.